Whenever I consider the origin of this war and the necessity of our position, I have firm belief that this union of ours will be the birth of freedom to the whole of Britain. To us, slavery is a thing unknown. There is nothing beyond us but sea, and even that is not safe, tormented as we are by the Roman fleet. And thus in war and battle, where the brave find glory, even the coward will find safety. Former battles where the Romans were resisted still left in us our last hope of salvation. Being as we are the most renowned nation of Britain, dwelling in the very heart of the island and out of sight of the shores of the conquered, even our eyes were unpolluted by the contagion of slavery. To us who dwell at the very edge of the earth and of freedom, this remote sanctuary to Britain's glory has up to now been our defense. Now, however, the furthest limits of Britain are thrown open, and as with all things, the unknown always inspires intrigue. But there are no tribes beyond us, nothing indeed but waves and rocks and yet more terrible Romans, from whose oppression escape is vainly sought through obedience and submission. Robbers of the world, who by their universal plunder have exhausted the land and rifled the deep. If the enemy be rich, they are voracious. If he be poor, they lust for dominion. Neither the east nor the west has been able to satisfy them. Alone among men, they covet with equal eagerness both poverty and riches. To robbery, slaughter, and plunder they give the lying name of empire. They create a desert and then call it a peace. Nature has ordained that every man's children and kin are his dearest objects. Yet these are torn from us by conscriptions, so they may be slaves elsewhere. Our wives and our sisters, even if they escape violation from the enemy, are dishonored in the name of friendship and hospitality. Our goods and riches they demand as their tribute, and our harvests to fill their granaries. Under the whip, and with only insults to encourage us, our hands and bodies are forced to clear forests and marshes. Creatures born to slavery are sold once for all, and are fed by their masters. But Britain is daily purchasing, daily feeding her own enslaved people. And as in a household, the last comer among the slaves is always the lowest among his companions, so we in a world long used to slavery, as the newest and the most contemptible, are marked out for destruction. We have neither fruitful plains, nor mines, nor harbours to work so that we may be spared. Our valour too, and strong spirit are offensive to rulers. Besides our remoteness and seclusion, while they give protection, provoke suspicion. Since then you cannot hope for mercy, take courage, I implore you, whether it be safety or renown that you hold most dear. Under leadership of a queen, the Brigantes were able to burn a colony, storm a camp, and had they not fallen short at the final asking, would have thrown off their yoke. Let us then, as fresh and unconquered people, who are never likely to abuse our freedoms, show at the first asking what heroes Caledonia is made of. Do you believe the Romans will be as brave in war as they are decadent in peace? To our misfortune and discord they owe their fame. They turn the errors of an enemy into the renown of their own army. An army which, composed of every variety of nations, is held together by success. Thus it will be broken by defeat. These Gauls and Germans, and it shames me to say fellow Britons, who though now they give their lives to support a stranger's rule, have been its enemies for longer than its subjects, thus are not bound by either loyalty or affection. Fear and terror alone are weak bonds of attachment. Remove them, and those who have ceased to fear will begin to hate. All the incentives to victory are on our side. The Romans have no wives to kindle their courage, no parents to taunt them if they flee. Many have either no country or one far away. They are few in number, dismayed by their ignorance. They look upon a sky, a sea, and forests, all unfamiliar to them. Encircled and ensnared as they are by the unknown, the gods have delivered them into our hands. Do not fear their idle display of gold and silver, as neither has the ability to protect or wound. Within the very ranks of the enemy, we will find our own forces. Britons will acknowledge their own cause. Gauls will remember past freedoms. The Germans will abandon them, as did the Usipi. Behind them, there is nothing to fear. Their forts are ungarrisoned, their colonies in the hands of old men, and what with only disloyal subjects and oppressive rulers, the towns are uninterested and full of discord. On the one side, you have a general and an army. On the other, forced tribute, hard labor, and all the hardships of the enslaved. Whether you endure this indignity forever or instantly avenge its threat, on this field you decide. Think therefore as you advance to battle, of your ancestors and your posterity.